From the Second Street Dreams audio network, this is Classical Music in Color. Music, interviews, and information for and about people of color in classical music. I'm Judeland Gibson. Thank you for tuning in. On the show this month, it's February, Black History Month. There is so much programming across the country when it comes to concerts highlighting African Americans in classical music and in opera. I chose to focus on a program presented by the Fort Worth Opera, A Night of Black Excellence, Say It Loud, Songs of a Revolution. You'll also hear the latest about the concert theater work we told you about in August, The Chevalier, about the 18th century black composer Joseph Boulogne. There's a new Florence Price album, and there are a couple of other items of interest. The Band and Coro African Drum and Dance Ensemble out of Dallas, one of the groups performing at the Fort Worth Opera's second annual Night of Black Excellence. Another is mezzo-soprano Karen Slack. Those are just two of the performers invited to appear at the Night of Black Excellence, Say It Loud, Songs of a Revolution. This comes just over a year after Afton Battle was named General Director of Fort Worth Opera. She was one of the curators of the program.
A Night of Black Excellence, I created that program out of necessity last year during COVID and during the shutdown. As a way to connect with the community, but also as a way to celebrate and connect with our Black community in Fort Worth and Tarrant County. So last year I created that program. Extremely grateful for my friends and colleagues who came out to support and to lend their talents. And so this year it's our second year. I am the co-curator of the program with Karen Slack, who is a Metropolitan Opera star, Sphinx Organization award-winning soprano.
When you curate a program like this, what are the specifications that you are looking for?
So in the curation of it, I this year wanted to be intentional with a theme. Mm-hmm. So this year's theme is Songs of a Revolution. Mm-hmm. I wanted these pieces to speak to the 400 plus year revolution Black folks have been fighting against, the 50, 60 year plus civil rights revolution that we continue to fight against. And then, most recently continued building on recently, the social and racial awakening that our country has and continues to go through. So in curating the piece with that in mind, I asked our artists, keep that theme in mind and send me some of your top selections and composers who you want to highlight. They don't all necessarily have to be Black composers, but I would love it if they were, because there's so much music out there that was written during the time of the revolution that had not been published, has not seen its rightful moment in the sun, if you will. So I really use that. And then also the artists who are part of this program are sickening and just crazy talented. I also wanted to highlight their chops, if you will, as classical artists. So I wanted them to, have a piece that they sing that highlights what they do, one of the things that they do best, which is to perform classical music. So that's a section of it as well. So having these two kind of varying sections is what I was looking for when we curated the program.
You blew it up this year.
We did. We had to go big because we're able to be in person, good, bad, or indifferent, right? With restrictions or not restrictions. And we've learned how to be able to produce in a time of COVID. And there's nothing more satisfying than the visceral physical reaction that you have when you hear and feel the sound waves of a voice.
Helping Afton Battle with the program is her Manager of Education and Community Engagement, Sharon Goodspeed Keaton. She's producing A Night of Black Excellence, and she's performing, too.
We have my band, which I'm going to be doing one jazzier tune and then one gospel song with David W. Carter High School Choir. And then probably the best thing ever is when all of the artists who have performed throughout, including the choir, all come together for the end, for the big finale. And we're just calling that Lift Blues, which is our version of Lift Every Voice.
What are you hoping the audience will get out of this?
There are three things that I am desperately hoping our audiences will walk away with. The first thing is the ability to safely enjoy entertainment and a moment of joy that maybe a lot of people have not been able to enjoy in the midst of these past 2 years that have truly been a tumultuous past 2 years for us all in some way or another. So I pray that they walk away having experience just a whole other level of joy, even if just for those 2 hours. I pray that someone is exposed to an art form that they didn't even know that they could love because it's always been presented to them in a package that they did not recognize. So now seeing it and hearing it in a way that is not often represented on any stage in the world, this will make them go, oh, I do enjoy opera. And I do love opera. And so they're sold on this art form. Most importantly, I hope and pray that everyone who is in a position to appreciate the art form, hire artists, hire writers, directors, producers, film crews, and shout out to our film company, Appointed Productions, and producer Charles W. Bush. He'll be the one taking care of filming. But I hope and pray that after seeing this event, which was entirely created by, produced by, filmed by Black and brown people, that the people who are in the powerful positions will go, oh, there are these people out here. Let me open my doors and give them opportunities that I may have never considered giving, or that, I now can see them in a different light other than what is sometimes presented to me because I never took the time to get to know them or interview them or call them. So I'm hoping that a lot happens with this. Yeah.
Sharon Goodspeed Keaton, Manager of Education and Community Engagement. You also heard from Afton Battle, General Director of Fort Worth Opera. The event, A Night of Black Excellence, Say It Loud, Songs of a Revolution, is live and in person in Fort Worth, Texas on February 20th. If you can't make it, you can still enjoy the show by watching it online. A Night of Black Excellence starts streaming March 8th. The Chicago Symphony Orchestra's African American Network presents The Chevalier, a concert play by Bill Barclay. It's on February 20th. The Chevalier is the story of 18th century French and Black composer Joseph Boulogne. He was also a virtuoso violinist, a confidant of Marie Antoinette, and a friend of Mozart. That's the Grammy Award-winning Catalyst Quartet, performing String Quartet in A minor, composed by Florence Price. They just released Volume 2 of Uncovered, featuring the music of Florence Price. The group is releasing several albums like this to highlight string quartet works by historically important Black composers. For links to all, go to the Classical Music in Color page on secondstreetdreams.com. Our coda this month is about Everett Lee. He died in January after a 75-year career as a conductor. Lee lived a life of firsts. He was the first African-American to conduct on Broadway in 1945, the first to conduct a New York City opera production in 1955. Lee eventually escaped the racism that threatened his career by going to Europe and South America. He held conducting positions in Germany, Colombia, and Sweden. Everett Astor Lee was 105 when he died at his home in Malmö, Sweden. A big thank you to the mainstream classical music organizations who are making the effort to add more chairs to the table and color outside the lines to bring other voices into their administration and on their stages. We are the Second Street Dreams audio network on the radio and on the WWW. Thank you for listening to the February 2022 edition of Classical Music in Color. I'm Judlyn Gibson.